Hey there, and welcome back to the week two of Google Summer of Code and Drupal. This time we have something really interesting in front end that we have built. We have done two things. Have taken one an LLM benchmarking dashboard, and second, have written LLM Arena to compare between different models. Now let me first quickly show you what we have done, and then we'll go across the code and everything. So first you can see this is our top banner. We got the total runs we have done till now, the average response time and the average accuracy. These show us the overall picture of how our recipe generator has performed. Then this is a cool filter that you can apply and this filters out the graphs and the table accordingly. Let us first take a view at the charts. Here I've used chart.js library for this. And similarly for provider and model, I have used the Ajax API for that. So when we select provider, let's say Gemini I have configured, and then I will have the models based on that, and that is based on the Ajax API. So you can see that my response time was fastest with uh, Gemini 2.5 Flash, and then again I used Gemini 2.5 Flash. It was more or less the same time, and from that 3.5 Flash took significantly less time, and 2.5 Pro took the least amount of time. But if you see 2.5 has this good number, and this shows you the average model speed of both of them. So like we have a lot of models, and when you want to compare something, this is a really important graph and gives us a lot of the bigger picture. Now you see this table is pretty good. It shows you the different provider models, the speed it took, whether the YAML is valid or not, the schema is correct or not, and what is accuracy. The YAML schema and accuracy have not been set up yet. That is why it is everything is showing invalid and needs work. But as soon as we keep on building this project, this will get updated accordingly. And then we have the timestamp. Now if we see, this is cool. Let's play along with the filter. If we just say 5 flash and then we say apply filters, yeah, it just shows one entry at what the entry is because the time is same. So maybe the same entry has been logged twice. But if you see, there is a 5 and 6 minute delay. That is why the timestamp is crucial. Now let me take you to the prompt arena. Here we can have any sample prompt. We can select any number of providers, any number, and then you can just have fire the queries for the same. So here we have two different ones that we had done last time. So 3.1 flash light was pretty good. It was fast and gave us everything. But this one was a bit problematic. We exceeded our limit. Some API failure. That is why it took this amount of time. And we can save all of this to the dashboard as well. This uses the batch API for firing all the prompts together. You might have heard of batch API by installing or uninstalling a Drupal module. So that's cool. And you can just delete it as well. It's a good color coded one. Now let me show you like this is the same thing. This is the blog highlighting the same thing and what all I have done for that. And yeah, that's the same LLM Arena. Yeah, let's look at a bit of our structure system diagram. So the client, when the user uses the Arena or interface dashboard, the front-end components, we have JavaScript, we have CSS, we have the forms library, and then there's the client-server communication. It uses the form API and the service layer, that is the Drupal application logic. And then it goes to the database. Here we have introduced the database concept into it, a custom database, which I'll get back to you shortly. And it stores information in that or fetches information in case of dashboard. Uh, then we have our Ajax API for dynamic updates and batch API for concurrent calls, as I mentioned. So this gives you the overall picture of how things are going. And the solid lines are for synchronous calls. You have to wait, and asynchronous calls are with the dotted line. Now let's just go by the code, what it means. So here we can see our model. We have CSS libraries, we have JSS libraries, we have some forms, we have services. We can also see in this place we have a lot more files. So let's first go to the install file. Now install file is pretty unique. It implements the hook schema. It is for installation, updation, and uninstallation for the recipe details. When I write something like this, AI recipe generator schema, how does this implement the hook schema? Now, hook is just a representative. That name is going to be your name of module. So when your this gets installed, module gets installed, it enables a schema the AI recipe generator benchmark, and stores all of these things. The description, it stores the fields, the provider, the module, the prompt. The prompt has type text, size is big. It should be not null, and there's a description as well. So all of these things are stored and they are pretty useful because this is used by everything in the benchmark dashboarding service. It pulls the data from here. So basically, we have discussed about what forms and services are. Now let us go across the CSS and JS. So the libraries will have everything pertaining to the CSS and JS. Like the routing has the gives you the big picture of what all links are there. This gives you what all things have been composed. So our dashboard has the CSS from dashboard.css. We'll have this file here. The arena has a CSS from arena.css and JS from arena.js. That's pretty cool. It has the dependencies core Drupal and Drupal ones. And we also have imported an external library called the font awesome. That's for the icons, which is pretty cool. Yeah, this is the overall picture that we have here. And let's few more things. The GitLab dash ci.viral, that is for building our pipeline. When you put this file, you might have seen the errors. Like, let me just show you. It's not fixed, but AI recipe. That's us. Verify. So we can just go to the source code and you'll see this. This status field is good. So we have the pipeline set up. We have to fix all of these things. But yeah, you can see this pipeline comes from this file. The different variables, the different files, everything, PHP unit, timeout, and everything is present in this file. This follows the standard Drupal tests that we have included from the project and template report. This includes all of these things. And from where this we get these workflows of build and validate. Pretty cool, right? Just everything out of the box. And yeah, that's all the overall picture that we have built. We have updated our service files, routing files, and that's that. Catch you up in the next episode, and thanks for listening.